All right, guys, we are back. Welcome. My name is DK, and in this video, we're going to be breaking down the 4-game WNBA DFS slate. We got 25K to first, really nice size contest. And yeah, I've been having a lot of fun playing WNBA DFS. It's been a very profitable year so far for both DFS and for prop betting. So hopefully that can continue. But yeah, if this is your first time watching, guys, I make videos for DFS, NBA, NFL, WNBA, player props. If you guys are looking for more content, you can check my Patreon linked in the description, whether it be for DFS or for prize picks. Also, I do have Dub Club for straight betting and just launched prize picks over there as well. But yeah, so talking about tonight, the game 1 of the NBA Finals, pretty tilted. I was tilting about this in the Discord. I hit on almost everything. If you guys watched my DFS video, I was all over the Gafford Lively fade. I thought they would get played off the court. They did. I was very high in Kleba because I thought he'd get extended. He did get extended. 2 points and 0 rebounds in 19 minutes. I hammered his props. I took his over 2.5 points prop and 1.5 rebound prop. Didn't hit either. Incredible stuff. What else? I basically played for the Boston blowout. I stacked Boston in a few of my lineups, but I had Pritchard in those. He shot 0 of 7. So yeah, pretty tilting. And then a couple of my WNBA props got insane value on both closing line value and both hooked. So very tilting night, but that's how it goes sometimes. All right, so let's just get right into it. We got 4 games. And also, if you are interested in playing DFS, you want more content, I do post a player pool for WNBA DFS slates over on my Patreon if you guys are interested in that. And we chat about it in the Discord as well, answer any questions. But all right, let's start off with Indiana and Washington. So Indiana, Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, they have them as Q tags here on Draftkings, but I looked it up on Twitter. They are no longer on the injury report. They're both good to go. Clark, something happened with her ear. Leah Boston with her ankle. Again, that was like a massive blowout, though. So both are good to go for tomorrow. So starting with Clark at 11K, I think she's a fine GPP play. You know, this price point, when you take a look at some of the other stars on the slate, right, you got Asia Wilson for just like another 1,000 more. Fee at basically at the same price. You got Hamby for cheaper. You know, a lot of the Seattle girls for cheaper. Rike is a lot cheaper. I mean, I think it's pretty hard to prioritize Caitlin Clark. I'm not saying she's completely out of play because she has shown a ceiling. You know, 55 here, 47 here, but again, more of a GPP play for sure. It is a good match against Washington. Washington has really struggled. I just don't love the price there. Now, the front court with Fagan Belly out, you got Aaliyah Boston and Smith. 8-9 for Smith, 8-7 for Boston. Both should start and play 30-plus minutes just because they are shorthanded in the front court. I think I do prefer Nalissa Smith to Aaliyah Boston at a similar price point, but both are solid options at, again, sub 9K. You got Kelsey Mitchell sitting here at 7.1K. So she's like the shooting guard. She's going to get a lot of shots up. She's just not going to do a lot of the peripheral stats. But it is a reasonable price point for someone that should play over 30 minutes. I think Kelsey Mitchell's like a solid mid-range play here with a ceiling if she does get hot with shooting. Talking about some of the value plays. So Christy Wallace is the other starter. She's playable at 5.8K. You know, should see somewhere in the neighborhood of like 20 to 25 minutes. And then bench players, you got Erica Wheeler at 4.9. You're probably going to see mid to high teens minutes for her. You got Samuelson, who's probably going to play somewhere in the neighborhood of like 15 to 20 minutes. And then that's probably it. You might see a little bit of Lexi Hall or Berger, but not enough for me to consider them. Now, let's talk about Washington. So Sykes and Austin already confirmed out. Ariel Atkins, again, burned me tonight. Played her in DFS and took her over 12.5 points prop. It closed at 14.5. Got insane CLV on that. And she shot 4 of 12 and got massive foul trouble. Yay! But this is a nice bounce back spot. And she does lead the team in usage with Sykes and Austin off the court. She has a 28% usage rate on the season. So I do like the ceiling quite a bit there on Atkins. Van Loo at 7K. Point guard going to start and probably play around 25 minutes. I just don't love the ceiling on her. She is going to provide you those assists, but right now, not doing a ton in the scoring department. I think Aaliyah Edwards is going to be one of the more popular plays in the slate, especially after what she did tonight. Now, she's going to start for Austin, and she played 36 minutes tonight. Now, I don't think we can see 36 minutes and 10 of 12 shooting again, but I still do think she is a pretty good point per dollar value play. So expect her to be very popular. You got Carly Samuelson here that should play, around 30 minutes. The shot has really not been falling for her. She's not great with the peripheral stats, so if her shot is not falling, she can hurt you, but still viable there for tournaments. Again, Edwards is going to soak up a ton of the ownership in this range. And you got Dolson, the other big, probably going to play somewhere in the neighborhood of low to mid 20s minutes. I would say I'm indifferent on here, 5'7", don't love it, don't hate it. Off the bench, Hines Allen will probably see mid-teens minutes. I would just rather play Dolson at a similar price point. Walker Kimbrough did play 30 minutes tonight. That was kind of out of nowhere. So if you think she plays anywhere close to that again, I think she is viable there in GPPs. Last person mentioned, Jade Melbourne, probably sees low to mid-teens minutes. I think there's better value on the slate. Okay, so Seattle. The last game for Seattle. Whoops, my computer's freezing up a little bit. Last game for Seattle, Naked was out. And you saw Mercedes Russell pick up start. But Naked is back here for Seattle. And honestly, this team, the top four, they basically do everything. Lloyd, Easy, Naka, and Skylar Diggins-Smith. Outside of that, no one really does much. So this is the top four, really does everything for the team. Lloyd is the highest ceiling. Now, the shot, her efficiency has not been great this year, but she's still getting a ton of shots up, averaging high teen shots a game. Again, she just hasn't been super efficient, but has been solid with the peripheral stats. 6 assists in 4 of the last 5 games. A decent rebounder for a guard as well. So I like the ceiling on Lloyd. Again, more of a tournament play. You got Easy at 10-6. We had a really solid game last game, but again, that was with Naka out. You do have Naka back. Naka at 10.3. I think her and Easy are pretty similar. Going up against Vegas. Vegas plays really fast. But I don't think any of the top 3 are, cash game playable. Diggins-Smith is 9.3K. She is the cheapest of the top 4 and probably the easiest to get to. In a competitive game, I would expect her to play low 30s minutes, 35, 31, and 31 over the last 3 games. And Diggins-Smith is solid with the peripheral stats, is their starting point guard. Outside of that, as I said, most of the offense is the top 4, so there's not a ton else. Russell moved back to the bench. She'll play some in the neighborhood of 15 or so minutes. Sammy Whitcomb is 5'7", right? She'll play 15 to 20 minutes, pretty score independent. Kind of the same thing with Victoria Vivians, probably see somewhere around 20-ish minutes. Not going to do a ton in the peripheral stat department. Horston, solid defender, but minutes are kind of all over the place. So that's really it for Seattle. Let's talk about Vegas. The Vegas been running a pretty condensed rotation. Chelsea Gray, I believe, is still out. Haven't really got a update on her yet. But yeah, Asia Wilson, I don't think I've faded her yet this year, and it's made me a lot of money. Basically, been plugging and playing Asia Wilson. She's going to play low to mid 30s minutes, and she is just dominating right now. Points, rebounds, blocks, steals, kind of doing everything for the team with Gray off the court. So yeah, Asia Wilson looks great. Probably your top spend up on the slate, and she will be pretty popular, but for good reason. Now, the 2 guards, I think, are solid plays as well. Jackie Young is 10.4K, and Kelsey Plum is 9.7. Now, Jackie Young's been better with the peripheral stat department with Chelsea Gray off the court. Now, last year, if you took Chelsea Gray off the court, it was actually Kelsey Plum that had the higher assist percentage. But this year, it's been Jackie Young. And Jackie Young's been rebounding the ball a lot better as well. So she has a higher floor than Kelsey Plum. But both these Vegas guards are in play. They're both playing huge minutes. They should play high 30s minutes in a competitive game. So, yeah, I think Young and Plum are definitely viable. And outside of that, you got Clark at 6.9K, probably going to see around 30 minutes. Not someone with a very high ceiling, but probably not going to kill you. Tiffany Hayes in her first game played 21 minutes. Did play well, 11, 6, and 4. She actually retired and then came back and signed with the Aces. Yeah, this team is pretty short-handed. Again, they're running a tight rotation, so I think Hayes is fine at that price point. Kia Stokes is 5.7K. She's going to see low to mid 20s minutes or so. Last person mentioned is Kate Martin. We'll probably see 15 to 20 minutes, but the minutes did tick down a little bit with Tiffany Hayes playing her first game, so that does worry me a little bit there. All right, Dallas and the Sparks. So Dallas probably my favorite team to target on the slate, and it's just because the way that they're running their rotation. Running an extremely tight rotation. No Natasha Howard, no Sabali, no Brown. Arike is 10.5K. Another one that I've been kind of plugging and playing over the last few slates has been working out in a big way. And she is just doing everything for the team, right? Dominating the usage. The assist numbers are up. Been rebounding the ball at a solid rate. I think she's one of the better spend ups on the slate for sure. Really like Arike. You got Big T, Tier McCowan, coming in at 8.8K. Minutes haven't been amazing on her, averaging like mid-20s minutes. Did play 30 minutes last time out of a really solid game. She is a good point per minute player, good rebounder, a good shot blocker. Just a matter of, will the minutes be there for her? But I do like her in tournaments. Billings and Maddie Sargist, I think, are two really good plays here in the mid-range. Billings, 40 and 33 minutes over the last couple of games, 8.6K. Should play mid-30s minutes here. Maddie has been playing mid-high 30s minutes, 37 minutes in back-to-back games. So I think those two are very solid mid-range plays. Point guard, Uzin has been, playing good minutes, but a little bit disappointing for the amount of minutes that she got. 1 of 8 shooting last time out, did only see 26 minutes, but before that, 36, 34, and 35. So if she goes back, if she can have a decent shooting game and go back to those mid-30s minutes, I think she would also stand out as one of the better plays there in the mid-range. Kalani Brown's coming in at 5.3, so she's basically backing up Tier McCowan. If McCowan does get in foul trouble or get limited, Kalani Brown could get extended. So if you want to take a shot on her for tournaments, I think that's fine. I just definitely wouldn't play her and McCowan together. And then that's really it. Sora's had a couple games early in the season, or that one game she played 32 minutes. Outside of that, the minutes have ticked down. And again, it's really, Dallas is just playing an extremely tight rotation. Now for the Sparks, you got Wnba, that's been their best player by far this year. She is playing high 30s minutes and stuff in the stat sheet. Reasonable price point for Wnba. Solid play. Wouldn't call her a must, but pretty safe if you want to go to her at the top. Outside of that, there's no one that I trust on this team. You got Cameron Brink, that the minutes have been a little bit all over the place. She is foul prone. And the production's been up and down. That's kind of expected for a rookie. 8.4K, she's playable in tournaments, but just know that, the floor is relatively low there with Cameron Brink. And then you just have this mishmash of guards, right? Clarendon had a triple-double to start the year and then has been, not great. Minutes, we'll probably see around 20 or so. Kia Nurse, 6.7K. Minutes have been kind of all over the place. But with Clarendon and Lexi Brown back, she only played 18 minutes last time out. That's not great. Jackson, minutes have been in the mid-20s. Only played 14 last time, though. Struggled. Ari McDonald was kind of out of the rotation and then playing decent minutes. But again, only played 18 last time out because they got 2 players back. Lexi Brown had been out for a couple games. She came back, only played 20 minutes. I don't know. I kind of just put all these guards in a group. And if you want to take shots on them for tournaments, be my guest. But nothing that I'm confident in at all. And that's probably it for the Sparks. So let's finish up here with Minnesota and Phoenix. Minnesota's been a really solid team this year. You got Fee at 11.1K. I would say stands out as one of the best spend ups in the slate. Probably you got her, Asia Wilson, and Arike are probably your top spend ups. So the spend ups that I expect to get the most ownership. The one downside I will say with Fee is at times the Minnesota can troll with the rotation. This game, she only played 26 minutes. I know it was a blowout, but there's been a couple times where Fee's only played 10 to 12 first half minutes and she wasn't in foul trouble. So just had to mention that, but really good matchup here against Phoenix. And usually in a competitive game, she's going to play mid-30s minutes. So I think she looks really good there. You got Kayla McBride at 8.3. Kind of had a Mickey Mouse start to the year where she was just dominating and shooting at an insane rate. It's kind of come back down to earth a little bit. In a competitive game, she should see around 30 minutes. Playable, not going to prioritize her, but it's fine. Courtney Williams is a good point per minute. Good point per minute player, but the minutes have not been great. They've been trolling her minutes as well. She can stuff the stat sheet. It's just 19. She's averaging 20 minutes a game over the last 3 games. That's not ideal. But in games where she does get extended, we know that ceiling is there. So I think Williams is fine for tournaments. But again, the minutes have been a little bit disappointing of late. Alana Smith is 7.9K. On average, she's going to play mid-high 20s minutes. I think a solid option as long as she avoids foul trouble. Bridget Carlton, I think is a fair value play. Played 32 minutes last time out. She's probably going to play mid-high 20s minutes on average. You got Dorka that most likely to play mid-teens minutes. I think I would rather get to Carlton at similar price point, feel better about her minutes. And then Xanda Lincini, I think that's how you pronounce her name, has been decent recently and is relatively cheap. I think she's a fine punt play. 18, 23, 9, and 17 fantasy points in the last 4 games. The minutes have been down on Heidemann. Don't feel great there. And then Olivier Afufa, I don't know how to pronounce her name, 14 and 10 minutes over the last couple games. She is really, really cheap. But again, I'm not confident in her role at all. Now, let's finish up with Phoenix. So the big news here for Phoenix is Brittany Griner is questionable. She's been out. She played 1 preseason game and has been out since. And they said moving up and down the floor, well, she's certainly close. Now, I think even if she plays, she's going to be limited. And you also got Rebecca Allen questionable. She was a starter that was, rotation player that's been out for a while. So Phoenix could have 2 main rotation players back, which does make things tricky because a lot of these players are priced up from when those 2 are out. Like, for example, if Griner's back, Natasha Mack is basically out of play. She's been starting at the 5, has filled in well, but she'd be like out of play. Like if Rebecca Allen plays, I think Sophie's a bit overpriced, and then like all 3 of the top end guards, I think would be a bit overpriced as well. So would definitely make them a bit trickier to get to. Clea Copper also kind of had a Mickey Mouse start where she was absolutely just smashing for her first few games, kind of come back down to earth. 9.8K, viable in tournaments, but again, there's better point per hour plays in that price range. Natasha Cloud is 9.5K. She started the game off really strong last game and then did absolutely nothing. Was a ghost in the second half. I was pretty tilted because I had over points plus assists. It was 18, and she had 12 points plus assists at half. Did not hit. So that was pretty tilting. Again, price point feels a little overpriced. DT is 8.4, feels priced about right. Production's been up and down. The assist numbers are not there. It really comes down to, is she hitting her shots? If she's not, she can kill you. So I don't love any of the top end guards there. But if Griner and Allen are both out, then everyone just looks better on this team. Natasha Mack would be playable at the price point. Cunningham would be playable at 7.2. So keep an eye on that. Sugg Sutton's been getting decent minutes on the bench as well. 20 plus in each of the last 4 games. But if Griner's back and Rebecca Allen's back, that definitely makes Sutton a lot riskier. Other bench bigs, Liz Dixon's kind of been playing the backup 5. If Griner's out, then yes, you can still take a shot on her, 4.1. But yeah, that's the breakdown, guys. So let me know. Do you guys like these WNBA videos? If enough people want them, I can continue to make these. So let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, if you do enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you all in the next video.